Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Weez, and today we're getting back into Assassin's Creed. I turn Assassin's Creed games into TV shows, so every game is its own season, and today we're carrying on by watching episode 3 of the second season, which is Assassin's Creed 2. So right now I've been working through Assassin's Creed Unity and turning that into episodes so I can release it as a TV series. And if you could all do me a big favor and subscribe, hit the like button, more importantly, comment. Let me know what you think below, and then let your friends know. Tell your friends, hey, I know this channel that turns Assassin's Creed games into TV shows, so instead of having to play through the whole game, you can just binge watch it. Let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. So at this point it's 1476, which means Ezio is still 17 years old.
They executed father for treason. Federico and Petruccio too. And they came for me.
Do you know why?
I have no answers, uncle. Only a list of names taken from a man who wished me dead. I still can't believe they are gone.
Don't worry. We will make sense of this.
I wish I shared your optimism. I thought Monteriggioni was an enemy of Firenze.
For now. Next year it will be its friend, the year after its enemy again, and on and on. I cannot keep track, so I have stopped trying. These are honest, hard-working people. Our shops may only carry simple goods, but they're well-made and dependable.
I believe Monteriggioni still exists. I believe it's like a tourist attraction, sort of a place in Italy to this day.
Did you know the Villa Auditore is almost 200 years old? It was built by my great-grandfather, a strange man who carried all kinds of secrets. Keep your eyes open, and you might discover a few of them yourself. With all the fighting that's been going on, this place has started to get a bit rough around the edges. I wish I could do something about it, but I just don't have the time or money to fix things up. Guess that's life, huh? Here we are. Casa Dolce Casa.
It's most impressive, uncle.
She's seen better days, I suppose. Believe me, I'd have her shining again if only I had the time. Now that you have had the tour, Nipote, you should go and outfit yourself. My men in the market are expecting you. Return here when you're finished, and we'll begin.
Begin? Begin what?
I thought you'd come here to train.
No, uncle. I came here to escape Firenze. And I intend to take my family further still.
But what about your father? He'd want you to finish his work.
What work? My father was a banker.
Wait, he did not tell you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ma che me combini, Giovanni? Where to even begin? Go and fetch the gear in the market. It will give me time to think. But that's that. We'll talk more later. Some spending money should you need it. And if you find yourself in need of rest, I've prepared a room for you on the top floor of the villa.
I only serve the elite. No need to be shy, amico.
Don't worry. We're only staying here for a little while.
I don't like it here. I want to go home.
I know. Salute, uncle. I did as you asked.
And quickly too, ben fatto. Now, let's teach you how to fight.
No. As I said, we are leaving.
Ezio, you barely held your own against Vieri. You won't survive a week on the road. If you want to leave, so be it. But at least do so armed with the skills and knowledge necessary to defend yourself. If not for me, for your mother and sister.
Fine.
Ottimo.
You said my father was more than just a banker.
No use dancing around it, I suppose. Your father was an assassin, Ezio.
I told you before. My father was a paper pusher.
No. He was born and bred to kill.
I find this difficult to believe.
What of the list you carry? Do you think it's merely a catalog of debts? It holds the names of those responsible for your father's murder.
All this talk of assassins and Templars, it reeks of fantasy.
Like something from an old parchment covered in arcane writing, perhaps?
How did you know?
You have your father's blade. I figured you'd have the codex page he was holding as well.
I think it would have been so cool to have Mario in some shape or form be part of the Lineage short film, because we really don't know that much about the relationship between Ezio's uncle and his dad. Because, I mean, I believe they were brothers, right? So, and they're both assassins. I would say Ezio's uncle's more of like a mercenary, militaristic assassin, and then Ezio's dad was more sly, stick to the shadows, that sort of an assassin. More of an original sort of an assassin.
Codex.
See, a guide to the inner workings of the Order, its origin, purpose, and techniques. Our creed, if you will. Your father believed the Codex contained a powerful secret. Something that would change the world. Perhaps it's why they came for him.
Assassins, Templars, Codex pages. This is a lot to take in.
You need to open your mind, Ezio. Always remember, nothing is true, everything is permitted.
Ezio, look at her. I still can't get her to talk. She spends all day and night in front of those feathers Petruchio used to collect. She can't let them go. I don't know what to do.
Don't worry. She'll come back to us. I know it.
Does anyone know the point of the feathers? Like why he was collecting feathers? Or was it just a slight story lead in order to create a collectible? Like, I refuse to believe the feathers are nothing more than just a mechanism to have a collectible. Because I believe you have to collect like 100 of them. And I feel like there's more meaning behind it than just it's a collectible. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Or if you know why Petruchio was collecting feathers. Was he going to make something? I wonder what he was into, what he was up to.
Don't think I haven't seen you picking apart my library. I trust you believe me now?
Yes. My father was an assassin. But why the need for such secrecy?
Are you familiar with the Templars? One of several knightly orders formed during the Crusades. History teaches they were disbanded nearly 200 years ago in France. Only they weren't. Merely pushed underground, where they continued their nefarious work.
What work?
The Templars seek dominion over man, and we, the assassins, are sworn to stand against them.
Was Uberto one of them?
Yes.
And the other names on my father's list?
Templars as well.
That means Vieri.
Just like his father, Francesco. Likely the entire Pazzi family.
Eh, it would explain many things.
You're making fine progress, Ezio. Today I'm going to teach you how to position yourself in battle. Where you stand and how you move can make all the difference.
So in the game, this scene is actually just... It's just to really teach the player how to fight, like the mechanics of the game. But I figured, I mean, part of the story, Ezio spends 2 years at Monteriggioni basically training to be an assassin. But you don't see much of it, so I figured, well, let's put some sparring in there so that you actually get the sense that Ezio was being trained by his uncle to be not just how to fight, but to actually be an assassin.
Well done, Nipote. You've really come into your own.
Thank you, Uncle, for all you have given me.
Your family. Such is my duty and my desire.
I'm glad you had me stay.
Good. You've reconsidered leaving.
We sail for Spain in 3 days.
But Nipote, I have given you these skills that you might be better prepared to strike against our enemies.
And if they find me, I will.
You want to leave, Ezio? To throw away everything your father fought and died for? To deny your heritage? Fine. Come vuoi. Arrivederci e buona fortuna.
Uncle, wait! Why is he so upset?
How can he not be? Vieri's been harassing us ever since you first arrived. To be expected, I suppose, given his heritage.
Uncle! Where is everyone?
They ride for San Gimignano to slay that snake, Vieri.
I wish to join them.
You'll find what you need at the stables.
So now Ezio he's been at the villa for about 2 years, and he's now 19 years old, and he's about to go on a raid of Tuscany. Basically, they go raid the city to get to Vieri and his father, because they've been attacking the villa for basically the last 2 years.
Ezio, what are you doing here?
Taking responsibility. Vieri troubles you because of me.
Vieri troubles us because he's a Templar, and we are assassins.
Either way, I wish to help.
Va bene. Then listen close. First, we must find a way inside the city, though it seems Vieri expects us. He has sealed the gates and sent his men to guard them. Fortunately for us, the city is larger than his host. The southern gate suffers for it, so this is where we'll strike. Pronti? All right, Ezio. Here's how it is going to work. My men and I will distract the guards. Once we have engaged them, get yourself over the wall and find a way to open the gate. Take these throwing knives. Use them to dispatch the archers.
I'm ready when you are.
Then let us begin.
Well done, Ezio. We're in. This way, men! I want you to distract those guards and keep them from raising the alarm. Hopefully, it will buy me enough time to find and silence Vieri.
Va bene.
Wait, Nipote. Take a few of my men with you, just to be safe. Come join me once they're dealt with.
In these conversations.
Use your last. Ready to take your call.
Ezio! Your uncle's under attack and needs help. Go to him!
I want you to go on ahead and root out that snake. See that justice is done.
It's settled. Vieri, you will remain here to coordinate the mercenary. Francesco will organize our forces in the city and send word when it's time to strike. Jacopo, your job is to calm the citizens once the deed is done.
What of that ubriacone Mario? He continues to harass my forces, and I fear he'll discover what we intend.
He's always been trouble. Just like that bastardo brother of his.
Then let me reunite them, father.
There will be plenty of time to clean up the refuti when we're finished. Now, is there anything else? Muy bien. May the Father of Understanding guide you.
May the Father of Understanding guide you.
Comandante! Comandante!
What?
Mario Auditore has invaded the city. He comes for you.
Then let's not keep him waiting. Fear not, Ezio! I'll make sure your death comes quickly.
What are you and your allies planning? Is this what my father discovered? Is this why he was killed?
I'm sorry. Were you hoping for a confession?
pezzo di merda! Vorrei solo che avesse sofferto di più! Hai avuto la fine che meritavi! Spero che
Enough, Ezio! Show some respect.
Respect? After all that's happened, do you think he would have shown either of us such kindness?
You are not Fieri. Do not become him.
This is probably one of my favorite moments in all of Assassin's Creed. Is the moment that he's had training so he can fight, but this is one lesson that he has not yet learned, and that is to still be respectful of the soul of your enemy. And in this moment, I figured playing that Assassin's Creed theme over top of Uncle Mario explaining to Ezio that we respect them even though they're our enemy because we don't want to become them. It's such a powerful message, and it's not just like this can be expanded into other realms of life, and especially into our own personal lives, because when you live with hatred for somebody, that hatred doesn't affect the person you hate, it affects you. And so, to me, this moment is a big message about hatred. Don't let hatred affect you, right? To me, it's pretty powerful, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Che la morte ti dia le pace che cercavi. Requiesca in pace. Take this. Read it when you have the time. Our work here is finished. Let us return to the villa.
Sure, I have just what you need. Somewhere in the back, perhaps.
And here he is, our campione Ezio.
Oh, hey, Ezio! I see you've wasted no time starting the celebration.
And why not? You've done us a great service, Nipote. With Vieri dead, La Toscana will grow quiet once more. Do you know what that means?
Basta lavorare.
Si passa tutto il giorno a bere.
E a puttane! What? It's true!
Come, Ezio, walk with me.
Yes, Uncle. The Spaniard.
He is Rodrigo Borgia, one of the most powerful men in all of Europe, and leader of the Templar Order.
Which makes him responsible for the murder of my father and brothers.
Yes, and he will kill you too, given the chance.
Then I must stand against him if I wish to be free. But not until every other Templar has fallen to my blade. Father's list will guide me.
Where will you go next?
Firenze. Francesco de Pazzi will share the fate of his son.
A sensible next step. No doubt he intends evil for the city. All right, that's enough grim talk for one night. I'll be in my study if you need me.
Salute, Claudia.
Our uncle is un mostro. This is outrageous.
What's happened?
He's making me work. If Father was here, I'd never be stuck behind a desk like this.
And what are the terms of this supposed enslavement?
Since someone decided we're going to stay here, Zio Mario suggested we try and find the money to repair the villa. Problem is, there isn't any.
I bet I can bring in some money.
Oh, great. More work for me. Well, benissimo. If you start paying for improvements to the town, I'll keep track of them in this book. And since I have nothing better to do, I'll also make note of any objects you bring in from the outside. If you actually get this place up and running, travelers might visit and spend money. Although I doubt anyone will want to come this far out of the city. But if they do, I'll keep the money we make in this chest. You're going to have to show up to take it to the bank yourself. Because when it gets full, I'm just going to take the extra cash for myself. Capito?
Deal.
I've said this before, I think I would enjoy an Assassin's Creed game where you where Claudia is the protagonist, during the time period where Ezio goes to Constantinople, she was, I don't know if she was the head of it, but she was part of the Brotherhood in Rome after Ezio left. I'm pretty sure her and Machiavelli and whoever else was involved at that time, they kind of took over from Ezio being the mentor, because Ezio built the Roman Brotherhood, and then he left to continue on his father's work in Turkey. But in Assassin's Creed Revelations, every chapter or so, you see Ezio writing a letter to his sister back in Rome. And I think it would be cool to have her post Borgia in Rome running the Brotherhood and doing, assassin things. But then every so often she receives a letter from Ezio, and it's the same letters that he would send her. I think it would be cool. It wouldn't need to be like a full game either, although it could be. I think it could be a great game, and Ubisoft can check off their feminist boxes for having a lead protagonist be a female. I think it would be good, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with the future of Ubisoft. The future of Ubisoft is not looking so good.
Buongiorno. Is there something wrong?
Ser Mario hired me to deal with this mess, but I'm an architetto, not a miracle worker. Without money, I can't fix any of these buildings.
And if someone brought you money?
Then we'd be in business. You must be Ser Ezio. Am I right?
Uncle! I like this architetto!
He gets very observant when he can smell mud.
If you want to fix up this town, I'm going to need it. I have a price list here for new shops and renovations. Just bring me gold, make a choice, and I'll begin at once. If I build you a shop, you, as the landlord, can purchase goods there at lower rates. If you invest more money in the shop, you get an even greater discount. As for renovations, well, you'll be bringing the town and villa back to life. As Ser Mario tells me, that was very important to your great-great-grandfather. Plus, when you buy shops and renovations, you'll be increasing the number of people who visit, causing your income to increase. So, let's take a look, shall we?
So I remember doing this. This was me actually editing the buildings getting fixed up, because in the game it doesn't show you this. So I would go at a certain time of day, and you go and you stand up against the building and put the camera between you and the building, and so it kind of pushes in front of the character, and so you get like a first person view. And so I would try to line it up at the same time of day, and then have you see like the shop kind of get renovated. It took a while to actually do this, but I wanted to make it look like the shops were getting renovated, because they don't show it in the game.
Look familiar?
On their codex pages.
Yes. Your father managed to find and translate a few before he...
Here.
This is not your father's work. Someone else has translated it.
Leonardo da Vinci, a friend.
Do you see the way the words cross from one page to the next?
There is something underneath it all. Kind of map. Where is it supposed to lead?
Your father and I managed to make out bits of a prophecy scrawled across these pages. It was written by an assassin like us, who long ago held a piece of Eden. His name was Altair. He spoke of something powerful and ancient hidden beneath the land.
What is it?
What indeed? Solving that little mystery is exactly why we collected these pages.
Then let me help. It's time I take on my father's work. All of it.
I think it's time I showed you something. This is the sanctuary. It was built by my...
So, the first time that I realized that Amunet, I believe that's how you say it, Amunet, was Bayek's wife in Origins. This right here is Amunet, I believe. So this was... So Bayek's wife went on to be like an absolute legendary assassin. And we don't see that much. I mean, we see her obviously in Assassin's Creed Origins, but we don't see much of what she did. I believe there's like a DLC where you play as her, and it's like ship missions, something like that. But that's the extent of it. I think another great character to have as a protagonist, a female assassin, would probably be her, because she went on and did all kinds of stuff, and it was all throughout the Mediterranean. I think that would be such a cool game, to be in the Mediterranean area, not just in Egypt like you are in Origins, but to go from Greece to Italy to Africa, maybe up to Turkey, who knows, all around the Mediterranean. I think that would be such a cool Assassin's Creed game, and you could have her be the protagonist. Or you could have a completely different protagonist, and she's in the game also. I don't know. It could be pretty cool.
Great-grandfather to honor the memory of the Assassin Order and protect its secrets. Look around. These are the assassins who guarded the freedom of humanity when it was most threatened. And this is the armor of Altair. Little is known about Altair's life, but his armor is light and very strong. I'd give it to you, but I don't know how to retrieve it. My great-grandfather told me it would remain locked away until all its protectors were made whole. I heard rumors of crypts located throughout Italia, hidden tombs filled with treasure, where these six were moved centuries ago. Maybe they have something to do with it. In my younger days, I sought the six myself, with no success. Perhaps you will have better luck.
In order to achieve perfect synchronization with Ezio, you have to get that armor.
It's so good. I love the old Assassin's Creed so much. Something that just hit me, you know what would be actually cool? Is if we could get a game for each of these guys. I would love an Assassin's Creed game where it kind of shoots off into mini stories, where each one of these guys, somehow you're able to get DNA from all of them, and then you're able to get in an animus and, you know, relive their memories, and each one of them kind of has their own story arc. That would be such a cool game. There is so much good content that they could have turned into games from these earlier games and kept it about Assassin's Creed instead of going off into... It's more so like they decided to take famous periods in history and turn those time frames into games instead of taking legendary assassins and going to their times and making it about the assassins. I think that's maybe one way in which Ubisoft went wrong with Assassin's Creed. It wasn't just the new RPG element kind of stuff, starting with Origins, because those games are good, but they're not Assassin's Creed games. It's hard to argue. You could argue Mirage is an Assassin's Creed game for sure, but all the others, Valhalla, Odyssey, Origins, those aren't really Assassin's Creed games. I wouldn't... You could even go back as far as possibly Assassin's Creed 3, and you could say it's not... No, it's Assassin's Creed 3 is an Assassin's game. Connor was definitely an assassin who was trained by a former assassin mentor who failed, but that doesn't mean Connor isn't an assassin. So I guess Connor's an assassin. There wasn't much of a brotherhood, but he was definitely an assassin. And then Black Flag was not an Assassin's Creed game. It just wasn't. Edward Kenway wasn't an assassin. He was a pirate who did the right thing and worked with the assassins, I guess. He was not an assassin. That was not an Assassin's Creed game. Best pirate game of all time, not really an Assassin's Creed game. Then you had, I guess, obviously, Rogue is not an Assassin's Creed game. It's literally you play as a Templar. I guess it's an Assassin's Creed game, but a Templar Assassin's Creed game where you play, the first part of that game, actually, you play as an assassin and then you play as a Templar. So I would say that is also an Assassin's Creed game. And then Unity, which is definitely Brotherhood. You become an assassin. His father was an assassin. Unity's definitely an Assassin's Creed game. Then you have Syndicate. Evie was kind of an OG assassin. Jacob was not. He was a gangster. He wasn't an assassin. And then there's not really much of a Brotherhood. So I don't know if I'd actually... It's a great setting in the Industrial Revolution in London. At that time period, it was great. I liked the gameplay. It was a great game. Not really an Assassin's Creed game. Not really. And then Origins, not an Assassin's Creed game. But does show, in the DLC, does show the origins of Assassin's Creed, of the Brotherhood. So the DLC, I forget what it's called, the Hidden Ones, I think. That is an Assassin's Creed DLC, straight up. Because it's the origins of the Brotherhood. And then we have Odyssey, which is a fantastic game, but it's a Spartan game. It's about Sparta and Greece and that part of the world during that period of time. It was not an Assassin's Creed game. Maybe by any stretch of the imagination, it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. I understand the Odyssey, the Bloodline, right? But that's not... They didn't actually focus on the Bloodline that much. It was more about the struggle of the family as a whole. And then Valhalla had an assassin element, but it was a Viking game. Like, let's be honest, it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game. And then Mirage was definitely an Assassin's Creed game because you had a brotherhood, you were trained by mentors, the whole thing. So that's cool, but I would like more Assassin's Creed, right? From more so this time period. But it's hard because they thought they were going to make Shadows, which I'm still not acknowledging as part of the Assassin's Creed franchise. It's just it's such a mess what they've done. I mean, here's the thing about all these Assassin's Creed games. They focus so much on respecting the history and the culture of all these places that they take you throughout the whole franchise. And then they made Shadows that is just, it's just a mess. And it does not respect the culture. It does not respect the time period. And it definitely doesn't respect the history because they went off the deep end with it. So I will not be turning Shadows into a TV show. You can take it to the bank. Unless they make major changes, fix all the disrespectful stuff that they've done. I mean, when you have a game that's set in feudal Japan in that time period, and then you have buildings that are literally Chinese architecture. Like, I understand a dev is like told to make some buildings or make a little town or something, and then they go on Google Images and they type Asian building 1500s, and then they take that and they remodel something. It's like, okay, you remodeled a Chinese architecture into feudal Japan. I'm sorry, but that's not a mistake. It's disrespectful. And when it gets pointed out, hey, you did this, that's a mistake, you don't fix it, that's where the disrespect comes. So people want to talk about the Black Samurai and stuff, whatever, go ahead. That's a whole different thing. The fact that they messed up cultural elements of the game. That's especially when Japan's all about like honor and respect and all these things, and then you literally just mess up their culture in trying to recreate it. I'm sorry, but there's no, and then there's no like, sorry, we'll fix it or nothing. It's just like, you're a bigot or you're a racist or you're an incel. Shut up. You can't criticize what we've done. It's like, what you did is wrong. Like, it was wrong, and instead of saying sorry and fixing it, you're just continuing down the road, unabated, unfazed, not sorry. You deserve the worst. Which is probably why Shadows is going to possibly end Ubisoft. It's definitely going to end it as a publicly traded corporate entity. At some point next year, Ubisoft is going to be going private. It's going to be a private company again, and then hopefully that gives it a chance to be fixed so that we can continue getting Assassin's Creed and other great games that Ubisoft is known for. Till then, it's going to be nothing but garbage, and I'm not even paying attention anymore until they fix it. So that's where I stand on that whole thing. But thanks for tuning into this episode. Anything that you think you could add, leave in the comments. Make sure you share the channel with your friends. Tell your friends, hey, I know a channel. They turn Assassin's Creed games into TV shows so that you can binge watch them. Other than that, I hope that everyone has a great day, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.